So we have never been to Europe, but one day we do plan on going. But until then, we decided to go on a European food tour around Chicago. The first spot we hit up was Emma, which is a Mediterranean restaurant covering any of the Southeastern European countries and a little bit of North Africa. We walked in and were just in awe of how beautiful and fresh the vibes were of the restaurant. So here is the menu. The waitress explained that they serve small shareable plates, which worked out since we wanted to try a few things. One of the items we had was the crispy potatoes. This dish had, of course, fried potatoes, topped with Greek cheese and scallions, and had a scallion cream. For something as simple as fried potatoes, this was such a great dish and gave us our fill of starch. Next, we had the lamb shakshuka. This was actually on their brunch menu, but I've always wanted to try this dish out. Shakshuka is egg baked in spicy chili sauce, and for this one it had lamb in it. And they really gave you a good amount of lamb. Like, look how much there is in this small skillet. Totally a good bang for your buck. And not only was it filled with lamb, but the flavors were amazing. It was just bursting in different spices, and the house bread just soaked it up so well. And this is the first time I've ever had shakshuka, but now I want to try out more from different restaurants. And the last plate we had was the lamb and beef kefta served with basmati rice and tzatziki sauce on the side. Honestly, this was probably my favorite dish. The kefta was so tender and juicy, and again, the spices they used were just so amazing and worked so well with both the lamb and the beef. It was so fluffy and had lots of flavor, probably one of the best basmati rice I've ever had. Overall, our experience at Emma was outstanding and definitely one of the places we'll check out again. After our lunch at Emma, we decided to walk it off by checking out some of the sights in Chicago. We ended up in a small cafe called Leia. This is a French-inspired cafe selling French sandwiches, croissants, and baked goods, as well as coffee. And here is everything that we got.
Good, actually more chocolate than it looks like. Yeah, like it gets more flavor. But what's in there is actually really thick at the bottom. But the red is only on the bottom. It's like an apple cinnamon. It's like if apple pie was a crispy, like airy pastry.
Leia is a great spot for a quick bite, whether you're here to get a light treat or even lunch. And the last spot we hit up was Lil Baba Riba. This is a restaurant that serves Spanish tapas as well as sangrias and cocktails. We really loved the vibe of this restaurant, and the decor was just so nice. Spanish music was just bumping too, so it really puts you in that nice Spanish mood. So here is the menu, and like I mentioned, they serve tapa style, meaning small shareable plates. We started off with a couple of drinks. I got the sangria of the day, which was a tamarind flavor, and then Ray got this hibiscus, pineapple, and citrus mocktail. We started off with the lamb bruschetta, which was skewered lamb and potatoes. The lamb was really tender and juicy as well, and the parsley sauce on top really cut through the fattiness of the lamb. And then we also got the seared sea scallops, which came with squash puree and roasted apples. I ended up eating this one on my own since Ray doesn't really like seafood, but these scallops were so good and I would cover them in the puree and top them with the apples, and it just made such a delicious bite. And since there were only 3 desserts, we decided to get all 3. The chocolate truffle bite, the butterscotch custard, and the Basque cheesecake. Honestly, it's worth getting all 3. They were super delicious and worth indulging. Since it was the last stop of the day, we kept our visit to La Barbariba really light, but we would definitely come back again to try more plates. Chicago is home to over 7,000 restaurants, and many of them specialize in cuisines from different countries. So since it'll be a while until we make our trip to Europe, at least we can get a little taste of it here in Chicago.